Are you ready?
I am ready.
I am so relieved to not be in front of the camera. I was a nervous wreck.
I think I was a mess asking questions. I'm so used to being asked questions.
It was just a silly, goofy episode.
Very nice.
Yeah, but then you had to ask me, like, so what do you think young people... I'm like, Jesus.
See, now she's different, Anba.
Yeah, now I feel like I'm me. Okay, so this episode is called, Am I the Problem?
Am I the problem?
Am I the problem? I want to explore the idea of like our ownership over our lives. Because like a lot of it is like we're like, okay, like the problem is that I just can't find a job, or I just can't lose weight, or I just can't be happy, or all my friends are irritating me, all my friends are so irritating. But wait a minute, is it me? Am I the problem?
Okay, am I the problem? Or am I the cause? Am I the center, right?
Yeah.
You see, first of all, we think a problem, the way we look at a problem is wrong, you know. A problem is something to be escaped, something to be solved, something to be denied. A problem should look upon as something that is reflecting you and your environment. Slowly follow this. Huh? I don't like the word problem. Problem simply, my brain says, I have a problem with my car, fix it. A problem is something for me to deny, to disown, to solve, to walk away. I have a problem with my wife. What do? Divorce and get rid of it. Or I don't know what to do. But
yeah. You find a solution to remove it.
It is something meant to be forsaken, denied, get rid of, right? Could a problem be a self-reflective or what is reflecting the reality? So a problem is reflecting a reality, right? And part of the reflection of the reality, what is it about me it's reflecting? So I don't even want to go into the statement saying, am I the problem? But we'll use that as a discussion. Could it be me? Is it something about me that I need to reflect? So a problem is showing something the time has come for me to face up to about me or about reality or about me meeting the reality. So I love the word problem, but I also worry the word problem immediately triggers in me to solve it without it revealing what it needs to reveal. Like this, I tell you. Once, it's a silly example. Like I have a nice car, I had a Mercedes S-Class. One day morning I came down, it didn't start. I'm like, I had to go somewhere very important. I was delayed, I had to get something, somebody dropped me. Came back, what did I do? I bought another car. Because I know even if I fix that problem of that one car, it can happen again. Yeah. So I said, I need 2 cars. Just in case. I don't know whether I solved the problem, but I reflected that would be what I need to do. I need to expand, I need to have a driver, because my urgency, right?
Like you didn't solve the problem of the car, but you solved the problem for yourself.
Yeah. The problem is I was dependent on one vehicle and there's so many things at stake and the whole thing was set up for months and that day my battery was flat or something. But hang on, that might be the worst example. A problem is a problem when I don't want to let it reflect me or my reality. Hang on. What it reflected on my reality is the smallest part of my life can fall apart and the entire thing. I have 1,000 people waiting to hear me speak and my battery is flat. And that is not an excuse.
Yeah.
So what it reflected is I need to live in a more efficient, I cannot take chances. That is what I had to meet. So when you say something is a problem, you already don't want to meet you or meet the reality. It's like this, we have economical problem, we have social problem. What the government try to do, hush it up, throw money on it, do something. They are not saying what is showing up, what is the transformation we need to live out? What is it about me I need to face? What is about reality I need to face. Right? So I want us to correct the word problem. Like I have a problem, let's say you have a problem with your wife or your husband. Look at it, what is it the time has come I need to meet?
Could we, instead of saying, am I the problem, am I responsible?
Or, I love the word responsible, but that word has been overused. What is my response that I'm not undertaking? I don't like the word responsible. Somebody said, I'm overweight, I'm responsible. How the hell you know you are responsible? Could be a metabolic, it could be 1,000 other things. Hang on, Why I'm condemning the word, not condemning, I'm correcting the word problem, even the word responsibility is another way they prosecute you. Like if you take obesity for instance, the responsibility of obesity is not just in your hand, no? It's in your supermarket. Those are the food that are available. Those are the environment you are in. So the word responsibility also can be they throw the thing onto you. But I'm asking this, where is the lack of my ability to respond that I can do? What is my respond? Right? In my martial art, we call it soal jawab. He hit you, you answer. They call it soal jawab in the Malay. You ask a question, I answer. So you're asking a question, am I responsible? No. I'm asking, what is your respond that you have not undertaken? Would that help?
Yeah.
Because I'm very afraid that you are going to hurt yourself unnecessarily.
But I think like the reason I asked this question, right, is because a lot of like society at this point, it's trying to remove the responsibility of the individual.
Right.
I want to, like, it's like, we talked about manifestation, right? I want to move to another country. I can put it on my vision board. I can write it on the full moon. I can burn the paper. I can do all of it, And it's not going to just happen to me though. That is my active,
Right.
It's sort of just like, it puts into my mind what I want and then I take the steps to do it, but I have to do it. And if I'm like, I want to live in another country, I can't do it, nobody's letting me do it. But have you really tried? Is the problem actually you not stepping into it?
Yeah. So the problem of you is your inability to recognize the responses you must live out. Right?
Yeah.
And when you have the ability to respond, then you are responsible. Right? So I'm addressing this question like saying I am responsible can be a way to throw blame, So I want to put that aside. I don't want to blame anybody. I'm saying maybe you are lacking the initiative of your own response. You want to live in another country? What are your responses? What are your research? What is that yours to do? But it also must happen.
Yeah.
Right? It also must happen. Follow?
Yeah.
So could we be talking about my capacity to respond?
And I just think the idea of not blaming people, like some people need to be blamed.
Some facts must be revealed about people. I don't know whether to be blamed. Because I'm very worried about the word blame, because you will blame yourself.
But like there's a line, right? I just went on a 4-week holiday and I really gorged myself, ate like a pig and I gained 2 kilos. Like I'm responsible for that. And then if
Are you?
hang
on. Are you? No, you are allowed. You are saying you're responsible as though you should be punished, as though you did something wrong. No, you're allowed.
No, not to punish myself, but just to accept that, I can be like, woe is me. Some people can eat whatever.
No, you did that. Why now? You're going to come back, you're going to diet even more and lose 4 kilos.
Yeah.
So you undertook going out and eating whatever you want to do. Now you are going to respond to that.
Yes. But I'm not going to get to the woe is me. There's a point in that middle, right, where you've done something, you are facing the consequence, you get on the scale, you don't like the number, and then you're like, woe is me. If I was somebody who had good metabolism, I'd be able to eat whatever I want and I wouldn't gain weight and I did this and I did that.
No, that is just you are preventing your internal response. Do you know what a vaccine is? Do you know what an illness is? When you have it, your body mounts a response. You stand on the weighing scale, that moment you respond.
Yeah, you're like, what's
No,
gonna come
it's
out?
not you blame yourself. You respond.
Yeah, you're like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's get into action. So, the word responsibility is my capacity to respond. Let's say I'm going to do a deadlift. 100 kilo, 120 kilo, 130. Not so heavy, but I'm going to do a deadlift. Before doing it, I'm waiting. Come on, come on, come on. And suddenly my system kicks in. Let's do this. Boom. Right? So, is it that our inability to cultivate, respond, to be in a state of being able to respond is what makes us irresponsible?
Yes. But why do we sit in those states?
No, you were never allowed to respond. You were never allowed to be angry when you're supposed to be angry. You were never allowed to be sad. The moral bastard did it. You know, a woman, if somebody touches him, should slap him. You were not allowed. You're supposed to be a good little girl. Your respond, like this, what is happening? You know, I don't talk about this, but like I stand for Palestine, not because I'm for Jew or for Muslims. I am just for humanity.
Yeah.
That's my response. There can be people who are upset about it. Why are you upset? I am not backing a race. I'm backing a child. I don't care of its race. Don't kill a child. I have the right for my response. You understand? Hang on. Almost all our natural instinct, when we're supposed to get angry, when we're supposed to get sad, when we're supposed to get upset, when we're supposed to protest, has been suppressed. And that suppression has made you unable to respond. When you're unable to respond, you can't be responsible. And when you can't be responsible, I'm supposed to blame you and say you are the problem. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So who's the problem? The problem is everybody who doesn't allow me to mount a response like this. I stand on the weighing scale. If I see my number more than it should be, that moment, I suddenly don't like chocolate. I don't like ice cream.
Oh, I am literally like a monk right now. I don't even need to look at food. I'm not even
You know
hungry.
why? And that is the natural response. Do you understand? That is the natural response. So is my inability to respond, which makes me responsible, came to pass because I was suppressed from responding. Because everybody tells me how I should be, you know.
Of course.
You're supposed to respect the older, not because he is respectable. You're supposed to listen to this idiot. You're supposed to listen to that idiot. Everybody tells you how to stand, how to walk. Eventually, they cripple you from being able to respond. Then they say, you are responsible. Once I saw a child, you know, something they told it can't have. He started screaming. And the parents said, they're trying to stop him from screaming. I said, please don't do that. Let him scream. Let him mount his response. If he misbehaves, you correct him. But the moment you kill his response, later he doesn't know how to respond. It's like this. Hungry, I go look for food. I respond. Thirsty, I look for water. They didn't trust, not they, a group of people don't trust your response. They suppress your response. That's how they enslave you. Then you have to look at everybody what you should do. I'm going with the question. You're asking, am I the problem? No, you're not, madam. You know who's the problem? Everybody that stopped you. And then you don't know what to listen. So now, hang on. So, how do I learn to be responsible? I watch my response. My system kicks in, you know. They know if you give you vaccine, maybe it kills you nowadays, but you take vaccine, your body mounts a response. You go to the doctor, he shines a torchlight in your eyes and whack your knees to find your response. He's saying, is your body responding? But now what has happened to you? What has happened to people? We are unable to respond. Hang on. In the ancient time, when they're studying, I was talking about this yesterday, the word enlightenment, liberation, moksha, only came to reality for people who started responding to the enslavement of life. They found out, oh my God, I'm enslaved by everything. I'm enslaved by my emotion, I'm enslaved by my family, I'm enslaved by the world, my lust. And in looking at that enslavement, the response happened, I want to be free, right? They say the word enlightenment has no reality because that response is missing. Right? You are not allowed to mount a response, and the response to be free is not there. That's why the word enlightenment. And all these so-called gurus and fake idiots are just teaching cheap morality. Don't do this. Girls must walk this way. Boys must do that. Don't say this. Don't do that. A million ideas keeps you crippled. So are you the problem? No, madam. The problem is all these people suppress your natural response.
Yeah, but the thing is, right, I mean, I agree, like, I do agree that it's not fully, obviously I am not the problem, like, in this, but in the sense, it's like, okay, society is suppressing us, this and that, but we still have to live. We still have things we want to do.
Now mount a response.
Like, how long are you going to sit and wallow? How long are you going to blame other people?
You have reached a point that you are mounting a response. This is when you rebel. This is when you say no. This is when you call the intention that I am being controlled. Is anger wrong? Wrong anger is wrong. Anger is just generally right. Right? Upset, sad, sorrow, happiness. All your emotions are there to trigger something in you, isn't it? Pain is not wrong. It's telling the body, kick in. Now, in this, how am I responsible? You are responsible this way. You take in all this input to make life easy. You follow people because they make life easy. So laziness is the one thing you must take responsibility and blame yourself for. The only thing you need to blame yourself for is being lazy. Right? And the price of laziness is slavery.
It's literally everything.
Right.
But I think it's also a question of like living your life in charge. We've talked about this before, but taking ownership over your life as well, right?
Go ahead. Now you're mounting a response. You see, that's not a rhetoric, That is not you repeating some idiot's word. You are saying, I think I'm going to take charge of my life. Respond. Get into action. Kick in. Like the Hindu have this thing called the Kundalini. Now so many people are talking about it, like energy rising. Remember, there's no technique to wake it. It's when I slap you, your system kick in. That's the waking. That's the cobra, the snake they show. They can do all kinds of things. No, you can't revive a dead man. The revival is you see something and you mount response.
Yeah, because I think there's a lot of like, I want this in my life. I want this sort. We all want a lot of things. We also kind of have to like, if just say, let's take friends, for example. My friends are all irritating me, every single one of them. At a certain point, it's probably me that's just irritated, right?
Right.
And it's that self-realization. A lot of people like, at least from what I've observed, even with myself, you struggle to realize that like, oh shit, actually I think it's me.
But you are struggling to realize. That's a beautiful thing. You are not living off somebody else's realization. So could it be what we are talking about is we have to take ownership to struggle to realize. Can I say that?
Yeah.
Maybe that's the topic. It's like this. I just add this. Like, what is happening in Gaza and Palestine? What is happening is what now? When it comes to innocent people being killed, race, religion, creed, ideology, out. Maybe that's the morality we must come to. It doesn't matter my race, not my race. You touch the innocent, those arguments are out of the window.
Yeah.
That is the response I'm mounting. I'm neither for Jews or this, I'm not. I am, in Malay they say it, anyaya. I don't know how you say it in English, Anba. Victimize, prosecute the innocent. So I stand with the innocent. I know somebody will argue that child is not innocent. Good luck to you.
As they say, your holy land cannot be built on the graves of children.
Now, that's a response. And I must be allowed that response. Right? So the responsibility you take is mount a response. And the only reason from my study is shown that you will not mount a response is laziness, is escape, is profiteering. So are you responsible? Yeah. You must develop the ability to respond. You stand on the weighing scale, whatever number you see makes you respond. Today I was so delighted, but I must report to the world, and so the world cares. I ate chocolate last night. At 2 o'clock in the morning I was working. I ate durian. I thought my blood sugar would be a mess. Today morning it was perfect. I was like, and what is my response? More chocolate. More durian. I was like, yeah, perfect. And I was like, what? My body is responding. It's just showing, it's metabolizing.
That's what's working for you.
Huh?
You need a little chocolate in your life.
Yeah, I think so. I absolutely agree with you.
Maybe you don't need to punish yourself.
Yes, maybe. No, but what am I checking when I check my blood? How well my body is responding, right? Now the question to the audience, are you responding? If somebody loves you, are you responding? If you love somebody, is there a response or are you dead? If something is happening in the world, are you responding? So now again, I want to put this frame right here. I'm so afraid you will end up blaming you. Like somebody once talked to me, Napshi. He and I started together. He really didn't become financially rich. He was doing okay. Then he said, why, Master, I didn't make it? I said, you are not that obsessed about wealth. Don't blame yourself for it. That's it. You didn't care. Some people care. You don't. Right? That's it. Don't blame yourself. Like why you don't paint. Somebody's not driven to painting. Like somebody says, why don't you work out? Do you know how hard is it for him to work out? The working out is easier, the one who's running in the gym. So I want you to be very careful. If not, you are self-punishing yourself. But what you can do is find out, why am I not mounting the response, and realize, this is your words. Realize what is preventing you from mounting the response, and that realization will open you to be able to respond naturally. Right? Like Krishnamurti said beautifully, action and perception is the same thing. When you can see something, when you see it clearly, your system responds, right?
But sometimes it takes time, right, to see it?
No. It is like what Astavakra says. At the time it takes to mount the horse, one can realize. But the time it takes is to reach to that point. I am not a believer in time, but I will give leeway for time, because you need to adjust yourself to that realization, to that response. Full?
Yeah, but I think it's also like understanding ourselves, right? And how we are the way we are, right? The realizations about things, that how we understand ourselves, it takes time, no?
Maybe. I'm not sure. Maybe a right situation must come for you to realize.
Yeah. Or
And the right situation is when all your escape has been denied. You get what I'm saying? When all your escapes has been denied. That means up to that point, the escapes are at play, and all escapes are laziness.
Yeah.
But I'll give you this. Yes, as a young person, you need to mature, you need time, you need to arrive to that space. I think my intent in today's episode is you go into this not as self-blaming, not as beating you up, going into it embracing. Going into it. Do you know why responsibility is beautiful? It is only up to me, then nobody can stop me.
Yeah.
What he said, the best part of the plan is no one can stop me.
What was that?
Who's that? That bald guy, that show.
Oh,
Austin Power, no.
Dr. Evil.
Dr. Evil. He said, the best part of the plan is no one can stop me. You know what is responsibility? Freedom,
Yeah.
No one can stop me. It's up to me.
But I think that's also like what's hard for people, right? It's easy for me to say that my friends are all
we
annoying.
worship laziness.
Yeah, because it's like all my friends are so annoying. I'm not the problem. I'm not just the irritated person here.
Right.
But even though when I say, actually, I'm the one that's irritated today. I'm the one that these things that you guys don't, I love you guys. But then if I think about, okay, I can fix myself, I have to respond to myself, which is a
Beautiful.
lot of work.
Yes.
Which
For
is
that,
like,
you must not be lazy.
and you got to face that you can kind of be shitty too.
Very good. That you can be lazy.
Yeah.
And laziness is the root cause of a lot of things. And what is laziness? I can escape. So the idea that we can escape is the teaching of the false gurus out there. 3 steps to success. You know what I mean? Shortcut to enlightenment, really. We seem to worship laziness. But you are designed for living. And living requires response. So now, where we at? This very beautiful episode. Where we at? I think I must sit, be quiet, and find my response. What do you have to say?
Me?
No. For any situation, what do you have to say? What is your jawab? What is your answer? That means you are on the spot. Right? You are. You are the one. So, yes, I agree you are responsible. Yes, I also agree you are to be blamed. But in the most loving manner.
Yeah.
That you respond.
Like, I think like a lot of, I was looking, when I visited my sister Aishi, and she lives in LA, and in her bathroom, she has a vision board there. And I was looking at it every day, like, because it's there. And I was just thinking, it's like, we always think we can just put it there and it's going to happen.
Yeah.
But she put a picture of Margot Robbie there a few years ago, and she applied to Margot Robbie's company.
And she responded.
Yeah.
So is a vision board to trigger a response?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I think that's the confusion that exists in the world, is I'm going to say to the universe, I want this. And the universe is going to grant it to me.
Yeah. So everything outside is so it triggers something inside. Like I have pictures of my masters everywhere in the house and the people I admire and love. Every time I look at them, I respond. Like when I move into this house, I told Geeta, put all the children's pictures. Something is missing. I said, put all the kids' pictures, all the home pictures, make it. So when I walk in, I will mount a response. If I'm going to work for my kids, for my family, for my people, right? Now that I have a temple, I wake up in the morning and I respond to that. But the one that has to do responding is me. That is a reminder. So the vision board only works if I use it as something that triggers something in me, right? That I mount a response. So who am I? I am the response. There is no me despite my response. Like my response, stop killing innocent people. Don't find justification in any form. Even the people who support it, what happens if your child gets killed? I'm going to stand up for it. So you want me on your corner. That is my response. So can I say who I am is my response? The real definition of me is the response I mount. Very good. So when you stand on the weighing scale, it's going to trigger a response. In order to trigger the response, you might have to put on 2 kilos.
I might look at it and say, you know what, it was really fun putting on those 2 kilos.
Yep. And it's going to be fun taking it off.
Yeah.
It's going to choose. And Anba, at some point, made a decision. He eats 1 meal or 1.5 meals and he started exercising.
With the quinoa and the almond milk and the
God
avocados.
knows what else is eating.
Only not
I was
ripe
so proud
avocados.
of his response. He responded. And in order to do that response, he had to put on some kilos before.
Yeah.
So that kilos that he saw mounted a response, and that response became him, and that is his discipline. I don't know whether he is disciplined, but he mounted the response that made him disciplined.
Yeah.
So maybe the question for the audience, what is the response? The time has come. I think the whole world wants to control our response, They want to tell us this, do that. For that, get angry when you're supposed to be. Get sad when you're supposed to be. Cry when you're supposed to be. Laugh when you're supposed. Don't buy this bullshit. No emotion, no feeling. Absolutely still and tranquil. That fellow is dead.
Yeah.
This notion, I'm going to speak from my subject of meditation. They're all completely serene. I want to slap them and say, come on, respond. Am I going to close my eyes and sit when a child is hungry? And call that love and attainment? If I am a man who's awake, then I'm awake to respond. Isn't it? All my masters fought for something. They woke up and responded. Now what are they teaching? Numbing you. Because some idiot wants to control you. When he grab your ass, you will not mount a response. Maybe they killed our response. That's why so many Asian countries were ruled. I would mount a response.
This is just nothing to do with the episode, but there is a vibe of a colonized country that you can feel it. Like when I went to Mexico, I was like, this feels like the way Southeast Asia feels. It's like, it has that feeling.
And you are not allowed to respond. And you will invade, take over, brutalize my people, and I will not mount a response. And the colonizers didn't do it, no? The people who ruled the people before, who killed our capacity to respond, set the stage for somebody to rule us.
I thought it was just interesting how you can go to a place, like you go to America. Obviously, America is a pretty dead country because of what they did to the native people, but it's not a colonized country. No, it is. It'll never have true culture because they killed it. But it's not a colonized country. When you go to Mexico, when you anywhere in Southeast Asia, there's a feeling that this, like something has been stifled here.
The capacity to respond. And the people who did it are the people who are the moral guys, in the name of don't get angry, don't do this, don't cry. I used to think when they ruled or colonized countries, I said, what happened to the people there? Why didn't you? Because the invaders are so small. And the people who are ruled are so big. What happened? You cannot mount a response? No, be very careful of these moral guys. They don't want you to mount a response. That's when she will be quiet when he's raping her.
Jesus.
So now, again, am I responsible? Am I to be blamed? Well, I take the blame for escaping responding. So what is your response? You look at your life, if you're poor, respond. If you look at your people suffering, respond. I'm not saying go extreme, but respond.
I guess you are not the problem, but it's a problem if you don't respond.
Wow.
Hey,
repeat that. You are
not the problem, but it's a problem if you don't respond.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much.
I do much better behind the camera, guys.
Yes, she does. I think we got the episode done. Say that again. I love it. Say that again.
You are not the problem, but it's a problem if you don't respond.
You are not the problem, but you are the...
But it's a problem when you don't respond.
Again, you are not the problem, but it's a problem if you don't respond.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much.
Terima kasih.
Terima kasih.